Hi, this is Mike J. Welcome to the channel. What I have here today is cars that are 15 years old and cars that are 11 years old. Old school muscle and sports car. And then of course, we've got the new generation of sports car, my Camaro SS. What I want to talk about here today is what a difference these American sports cars have become over the last 15 years. And we'll first start off with this Pontiac Solstice. It is a 2007. And when these first came out, I remember they were the hottest things. Due to the fact it was convertible, affordable, two-seater, and everybody loved them, and everybody bought them like hotcakes. And then, of course, you know, Pontiac went out of business, and there are no more. These are soon to become a classic. But anyways, we have the next one over here, which is a 2003 Corvette, Lincolnfelter, and it is blown with a supercharger on there. And this car makes roughly around 490 horsepower. Now these cars brand new, okay, were about probably close to like almost 60,000, being it is a convertible. And it was sent out to Lincolnfelter and had the supercharger and had a few mods done to it to bring out more power. And then of course, you know, my Camaro SS. For $40,000, you can have 455 horsepower, 455 foot-pound of torque in a car, out of a box, from a Chevy dealer, into your driveway, that will probably take out the Corvette. That was probably well over $70,000 by the time you do all the additions and all the modification. And what I want to show you guys today is what cars from a 15-year stretch and how different they look, and how these older cars are still like timeless piece of machine, you know, that we still love today. And a friend of mine owns both of these cars, and I've known this guy since I was in 5th grade. 40 some years I've known this guy, and he's owned both of these cars. The Solstice since brand new, and the Corvette was an inheritance from his father-in-law, and he is actually the second owner of the Corvette. But anyways, I want to introduce you here to my friend, Steve. Steve?
Hey, Mike.
Welcome to the channel.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course, you know, I did a segment on your Corvette like about 10 months ago when I first started my channel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and those of you that follow my channel, go to one of my older videos. It's actually one of the, probably the 4th or 5th video that I've ever put in since I started my channel that talks about Steve's Lincolnfelter Corvette. But anyways, we're gonna have Steve go around the Solstice, because the Solstice, believe it or not, has got how many miles?
1,360.
Okay, 1,360 miles on a 11-year-old car, okay? Now, guys, to put that into perspective, okay? My Camaro SS is 7 months old, okay? It's got 1,030 miles on it. So, I mean, how the hell do you drive a car 11 years with 1,000 miles practically, or not even 2,000 miles?
Saturday driver.
But anyways, we're gonna let Steve talk a little bit more about the Solstice. He wants to sell it. So, you know, this is gonna be probably a car that's going to be a collector's item one day, due to the fact that, I mean, this thing is like right off the showroom new. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the camera and we're gonna walk around this car and show you this car and have Steve introduce you more about this Pontiac Solstice.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
So Steve, this car, I believe you had ordered brand new from the dealership, and you had to wait how long for it?
At that time, it was almost a year. I think it ended up being 10 or 11 months.
Wow.
The demand was so high on on the Solstice.
Yeah, because I know when these came out, and then following afterwards, the Saturn Sky. I mean, they
Right.
couldn't keep these, on the lots at the time.
Yeah, they called them the Kappa cars, and you had the Saturn Sky and the Pontiac Solstice.
Wow.
A little bit of difference, but it was the brainchild of a GM executive who wanted an affordable, compact, convertible, and that's kind of what I think the first concept car at the auto shows. People loved it. 27 months later from that concept, there was a production Pontiac Solstice, which is pretty remarkable to go from concept at an auto show to production in 27 months.
Well, let's take a look at the engine. Tell us a little bit more about the power plant. I mean, I know they made these in like 2 different engine configurations. That's correct?
Yeah,
Right?
so Mike, this is the 2.4 liter Ecotec VVT. This is an all aluminum block. Horsepower is 177 horse. It is an automatic. The reason I got the automatic is because my wife didn't know how to drive a stick, and so she had to be able to drive it.
That's never any fun. Huh?
You'll notice the cold air induction system. That adds another conservatively maybe 10 to 15 horsepower. So, probably close to approaching 200 horsepower. But the nice thing about it is the vehicle is so light and so nimble that, the block does pretty well to motivate.
And as you know, you remember me owning my older Corvettes in 1985 and 1987, right?
Yes.
And this is exactly the same design on how they had the battery mounted.
Oh, yes.
Right next to the fender. I mean, and it's really, really not that hard to get to. Well, at least it wasn't on the Corvette, but you said that you had to pull the battery once, and it is kind of difficult on this car.
Basically, there's a procedure you follow. YouTube is great for it. This kind of swings out, and then you can access the battery. But one of the things I really liked about the Solstice is the styling, the design of it. It's just a really clean lines on it. I love the clamshell hood, kind of a cue to the big Corvette sitting next to it. One of the interesting design features, if you'll notice in the back, Mike, this rear deck hood here has the styling that you cannot get from sheet stamping metal. This was done with a process called hydroforming, where they use just a single die and they use high pressure water to form these lines, because these lines are beautiful. It almost reminds me of the old, what was it, the Porsche Spider, I think, had the lines like this. So that's one of the things I really liked on the Solstice as well.
I never even knew they had that process of building cars to sculpture designs and shapes. I mean, by looking at the paint on this, I hate to say this, but it is like better than my brand new Camaro. I mean, this is like, the paint on this car is like, it is glossy. It's not orange peeled. I mean, you got a $60,000 Corvette here that don't look like that, Well,
Mike, the Solstice has always been garage kept, and like I said, it's pretty much been a Saturday driver. Luckily in my neighborhood, there's a bunch of gearheads who gather on a Saturday evening, so it's fun to take your chair in your vehicle and just talk and chat with other, sports car and other vehicle enthusiasts. So it's always been fun to do that.
And of course, this is probably the top trim level when you bought it?
Pretty much, yeah.
So the only thing that you didn't opt for that would have cost extra was the turbocharged motor.
Exactly.
Or supercharged. Was it supercharged or turbocharged?
It was a turbo. It's
Turbo?
It's
Okay.
a 2.0 turbo, and so yeah, that was the only difference. And of course, just for ease of driving, you have your automatic. I personally would probably have preferred the stick, just like I have the 6-speed in the Corvette.
Right.
So I can understand that,
But you bought this kind of like with your wife in mind, right?
Exactly.
That she had to drive it.
It's something that I knew that she would want to be able to drive it, and so.
Or else don't come home.
Exactly.
I mean, for an 11-year-old car, it's like showroom condition, and I like the fact of all the chrome that they used in the shifter right there.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice. Mike, you'll also notice the accelerator and brake pedal. That was an option to add.
Oh, the chrome.
Yeah,
the chrome.
on there,
The
so-
chrome fittings.
Yeah, because that was another option.
So this top is pretty easy to operate.
Yeah, I'll show you how that.
I mean, these don't come power, and there's really no reason to come power, due to the fact that I mean, there's not much car here.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very compact car. So this is basically the top, and in '06, the red or envy color of the Solstice only had the black top available. But starting in '07, they had the camel or kind of this tan top available.
Which
So-
was a kind of a different color combination.
yeah, exactly. So
Because you know, red cars have always looked good with tan decor. I think,
oh yeah,
you know,
yeah, exactly,
kind of like the Corvette there, kind of tan decor.
exactly, yeah, yeah, and that Corvette actually has a tan top as well, interestingly enough. So that's pretty.
So that's it. Just
that's it.
pop the lid,
yeah, deck down.
push down on two corners.
There's one lever in here. Let's secure the lever. It's down.
Oh, you gotta release your hook is out. But you gotta your hook.
Oh, there we go. That's pretty much it.
You know, he doesn't drive this car much, so
You got
that
Mike.
top needs to be worked in a little more. So somebody buy this car.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of miss it, but it's something.
Is this supposed to like sit flush, or is this normal? This right here. Or you didn't have it down
I
enough?
probably didn't. Let me try that again.
Maybe that's why it was having a hard
Yeah, I
time
bet
to
you
lock.
I must have not slammed it tight enough. There we go.
I mean, these are the only problems that normal
eye,
people
Mike.
get with a brand new car, not an 11-year-old car. So,
You have
You know,
a good
it's-
eye for detail, Mike. Thank you.
and of course, you know, being that it is a convertible, it does also, you know, offer you a glass rear window instead of that hazy plastic that fades, you know.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, I mean,
that's true.
the Vet has the hazy plastic that fades.
But Mike, even though we live in Arizona, this hasn't seen too much sun through the years. I can tell you that.
Well, I can tell by the paint, yeah. Now, as my understanding, Steve, you want to sell this car, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm at a point where, you know, with the Corvette, I think that kind of meets my needs for having a nice sports car, and so I'm ready to let the Solstice go.
Okay. Well, folks, those of you that are subscribed to my channel and those of you that are not, if you are watching this video, Steve here does have this 2007 Pontiac Solstice for sale. Exactly the miles, how much was on it?
1,360.
Okay, there you go. You're going to find more miles on a demo than you will on one of these. And
Yeah.
due to the fact that, Steve, I think that it's a good point because that you don't have the turbo motor or the turbo motor, right?
Yeah, turbo.
Is
Point out.
you don't have to worry about the bearings and all that,
Oh,
being
no.
that the car sat for a long time. It's a
Yeah.
normally aspirated engine,
Yeah.
which is good because you don't have all those moving parts that are like not being used, you know, and being that always normally aspirated engine are going to be far less in maintenance as well too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, everything's perfect in it, Mike, and I made a point of, you know, either taking it out or starting it on a weekly basis, keeping the fluids and
Right,
the battery fresh.
right.
So never
you
had
know,
any issues with
you know, it's weird because right when you bought this car in '07 was right when I bought my 2007 red Corvette Z06.
Ah,
And
right, the Z06.
yeah, and when I had, oh, actually, what happened is you had texted me and sent me a picture, and look what I got. And then I kind of sent you a picture, and look what I got. So remember that I came over here and I had see Steve and all that long, and
That's right.
and we, you know, we kind of just shoot the shit a little bit, you know. But you know, like this car is for sale. What are you asking for it, Steve?
You know,
I mean,
Mike, if I could get somewhere in the maybe $15,000 range, I think that would be pretty fair, because it's really just so excellent, and it's just, you're never going to find another '07 Solstice as good as this and with low miles like this. So it's extraordinary. And I'll tell you what, if I don't get my price, I'm probably going to go to Barrett-Jackson in January and put it on the block.
Scottsdale, North
That's
Scottsdale,
right.
yeah.
Because that's something I've never done, and I'm kind of curious how that experience is. So we may end up at Barrett-Jackson.
Okay, well that's something to see. If just make sure you get me tickets to go.
You got it, Mike.
Or actually, I hope that you do sell it on my channel. Just make sure that
awesome.
I get a little commission if it's sold if it's sold on my channel.
That sounds
but
fair.
anyways, there you guys have it. A 2007 Pontiac Solstice that is for sale by Steve. And if you guys are interested, I am going to put his email on the bottom of the link of my description. And if you are interested in this Pontiac Solstice, give Steve an email, PM him, and then you can discuss further details with him on this car. Now, let me ask you one more final question, Steve.
Sure.
Is that price negotiable?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think everything's negotiable.
So there you guys have it. This is America. Everything's negotiable. And me being Asian, of course, everything's negotiable, right? But anyways, and like I said, Steve's Lincoln Felter Corvette, 2003. Go check it out on one of my earlier YouTube videos. And you will see a little bit more about this Corvette. And of course, this isn't for sale, is it, the Corvette?
No.
No.
Kind of a family heirloom.
Well, what happens if the price was right? Would you sell it?
I don't know.
He-
Up to Dana, considering
Okay.
it was her father's vehicle. It was his baby.
But anyways, check out the Lincoln Felter. I'll give you guys a little teaser, and you guys can go and click below on one of my other videos and see this awesome Corvette. This is all you guys get for the Corvette. But anyways, then of course we got my fabulous Camaro SS. Anyways, like I said, PM Steve, if you are interested in this Pontiac, and I'm sure it will make a great car for anybody that's interested in a sporty two-seater convertible, a throwback to the past. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for
Appreciate
being
it.
on my channel.
My pleasure.
Folks, please like this video. Please comment, subscribe, tap the notification bell. Give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.